My assumption is that most of my audience members identify as part of some kind of organized religion, or even just identify as deists, since most people nowadays are religious. I say most because not all of you identify as religious. Same goes for me. My entire life I have not believed in a god or gods. The reason for this is of course the influence from my family, but also judging on various of other factors I won't get into right now in this video because it'd take way too long, and frankly, it would just open up another flame war in the comment section that I don't have any interest in moderating right now. At around age 9, I asked my dad why we never go to church. I saw it in the movies, and about 5 other kids in my class identified as religious. 3 of them went to church every Sunday and made sure never to cuss and always say grace before dinner. My dad explained to me that those are things that you do for religious reasons. I asked my dad if he believes in God, and he said no. It got me thinking about what I identify myself as. At the time I was more or less just agnostic and was too focused on cartoons, playing and drawing stickman comics. Eventually, when I reached the age of 13, I began to read up on evolution and the Big Bang. It was also interesting at the time, and I really get into listening to various famous atheists like Richard Dawkins, as well as the ramblings and rants of the Amazing Atheist. Nowadays, I identify as agnostic atheist. The agnostic part is there because I can't disprove or prove an unfalsifiable hypothesis like a god. And the atheist part is there because that's what I believe, that there is no god. Oftentimes when people talk about religion with me, they ask where I get my morals from. As an atheist, what's stopping me from killing, raping, and stealing? If there is no final judgment, why bother being nice to others? You have to take more than just religion into the equation. For one, I have a thing that most human beings also have, which is called empathy. Empathy allows me to understand other human beings' feelings, thoughts, and emotions. There is also the golden rule that I go by, which is treat others as you would like yourself to be treated. Very cliché, but it works for most people. We also have a legal system, because as Louis C.K. put it, getting caught with murder really sucks. And I honestly don't think I would have it in me to kill another human being, unless it was in self-defense or if someone I really cared about was crucially harmed by another person. I also have a thing called conscience. If I rob someone, I would have to think about how bad I made them feel for a very long time. They would have been traumatized by the mugging, and I would have unfairly earned something as insignificant as plain material. Why? Because I posed a threat to another human being. I would also be too ashamed of myself to leave my house for days. So take all of these 3 things into consideration and you have a big barrier between you and basically turning into a barbarian. I just wouldn't have it in me. And doesn't it say more about your character than mine when you claim that the one thing you only need is religious guidelines not to commit murder or rape? Doesn't that in and of itself make your own character look bad by saying, if I did not have God, who knows what terrible things I would do? I think we all naturally have a very basic need for social acceptance and a desire to fit into society by being a part of it and contributing in some way. I do believe that most people have these basic empathetic thoughts that make us harmless for the most part when around other people. If your God had forsaken you, would you take it out on another person? If you somehow 100% without a shadow of a doubt found out that God did not exist, would you rape, kill, or steal? Would no God be the last straw that broke the camel's back in compassion for your fellow man? If so, then please do keep believing. I won't, but I'd rather have peaceful religious people rather than violent atheists. Then again, atheists are known for flying planes into buildings. The classic stereotype for an atheist is a fat, awkward, nerdy slob with terrible fashion sense. Do you want to get into religious stereotypes? Me neither. When it comes to other religions, you too are an atheist if you just focus on religions that you don't follow. You would only have to get rid of the last one and boom, you'd become a hedonistic, ruthless non-believer with a taste for blood. Oh wait, you'd be the exact same person, just a tiny bit different in terms of world perspective. The point of this video is to clear up the common misconception that atheists have no morality, which could not be further from the truth. I hope that I raised a few questions and that we can have a simple and civil discussion without any straw-manning, hateful comments or name-calling, because in the end, we're all just human.